Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Monster Report. Your host, Nick Adam Poling, here with another Skype Kaiju discussion. I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Mike Ross. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Mike and I are good friends from G-Fest. I've been there 2 years. How long have you been going to G-Fest?
I've been since 2011.
Okay.
This will be my sixth one coming up this year.
Awesome. And he's never going to stop. As long as he's breathing air, he's going to be going.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I met Mike because I did a fan show, of course, at G-Fest, showing off some of the collectibles that people were picking up, and I met Joe Astolfa as a process. May he rest in peace, good friend of ours. But I remember between these two guys, they were just hauling away probably as much as I have in my collection alone in one van load back to New York, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first car ride from G-Fest was kind of crazy, and then we've been bringing the van ever since. But then, Joe passed away, so last year we did Joe's little tribute with his family, so we brought the van again, and as far as I'm concerned, that's probably going to be the last time we use the van. I'm flying out this year, and I'm probably going to be shipping all my stuff home this year because I don't think I can tolerate the drive there alone, let alone my vehicle.
Yeah, that's kind of a long haul. I'm in Indiana, so I think it's bad enough driving 4.5 hours from here. You're, hauling the mail with probably 12 plus hours, right?
Yeah, roughly 12, 16, depending on how many stops I make.
Right. Well, I tell you what, real quick before we get into our discussion, tell me about the Vinyl Vigilante. What's that all about?
The Vinyl Vigilante. I'm a guy. You know how the Vigilante, you take the law in your own hands, and then you got the vinyl? Well, I take vinyl into my hands.
That's right. You're like the Batman of vinyl.
Vinyl Vigilante.
Yes. Yes. Where's the vinyl? Where are you hiding it?
There was a little joke running with me and Baron Christopher last year at G-Fest, and I think it was coming off the heels of the new Terminator movie. And I'm like going around like, vinyl, give it to me.
Nice. Of course, we're big collectible guys, you more than me, of course. And, when it comes down to these films, we love them for about every aspect of them. The collectibles are just one more thing. But let's talk about Mechagodzilla, the film.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Our last film in the Showa series. Tell me what your reaction was when you first saw it.
Well, I first saw Mechagodzilla in the early 90s, obviously. I was born in 86. I probably saw it when I was maybe 5 or 6. My first movie being 85. Then somewhere around, maybe the first handful of movies, Mechagodzilla was one of my earlier movies. I remember walking to Blockbuster Video, and it was right there, and I rented it. And I remember seeing Mechagodzilla on TNT's Monster Vision when it was still on. Yes, that's the copy that I saw when I was a kid. I rented from Blockbuster. I love that cover art.
Yeah, I love it too.
Probably one of the best Showa movies in the series. Probably in my top 5 Showa movies. Returns back to its darker roots, I guess you would say. Because Ishiro Honda came back to direct it since, what was the last movie he directed? Was Godzilla's Revenge, was it? Or was it Destroy All Monsters?
Yeah, he did Revenge, and he took a break. He did Space Amoeba, which is non-Godzilla, of course, and then he took a break from basically Toho for a while, monster films anyways, for a while. And then they somehow talked him to come back for Terror, which, of course, we benefited as fans.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
As much as I like, the original Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, and as dark as that was, I think Terror Mechagodzilla was maybe a little bit better, just a little bit. And because I like Titanosaurus too, Titanosaurus is awesome.
Yeah.
And you had Ishiro Honda come back. And you also had Akira Ifukube come back as the composer to give Mechagodzilla, I think, a darker, more menacing theme. And of course, you got Godzilla's theme, which is always nice. And then you have the Titanosaurus cue. I don't know if you call it a theme, though.
Yeah, it's more of a cue. Yeah.
Because it feels like, the entire the entire score of Terror Mechagodzilla is just like one long running track. It doesn't seem like there's many other tracks other than that, other than like the space kind of thing. I can't really describe it, but
Yeah, but I love that when we, of course, were at the Afukube 100 concert, and they had that the suite from Terra Mechagodzilla come on there, and you could pick out those cues, how they blend it all together. There's Godzilla, there's Titanosaurus, there's Mechagodzilla.
I tell you, when I was there at the Fukube 100, watching on YouTube and then listening to the CD, nothing will describe the feels of actually being there. Because, you hear the music, it's just like, you hear the Godzilla theme, you hear all the music from the original movies, it's just like, it's spine-tingling. It's like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Yeah,
but, I know there was, I tend to hop all over, but, I know the American version of Terror Mechagodzilla was kind of poorly cut. A lot of scenes were cut out, such as, what's his name from the first Mechagodzilla movie that was gunned down? He was taken as a hostage. He was cut out, getting gunned down, and a lot of the gun action was kind of cut. I mean, you see some of it, but they cut it down because they wanted to make a kids movie.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about these films. Even the Showa era, they were marketed towards children, but yet they had a lot of those kind of scenes of violence that were left in, and that, I guess, for the Japanese audience, that's a little bit more acceptable. They get it over here. They tried to get that G rating, and so chop, 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 chop.
The one thing that I didn't like about the recently released version, what was it?
Is it the classic media?
Classic media. Yeah, that one. Not really a fan of the 6-minute prologue in the beginning.
Yeah.
Usually, like I said, I saw the original VHS and it just cut to the title. And that's why I usually just fast forward because, they only show scenes from Monster Zero, Godzilla's Revenge.
Yeah.
That's about it. So, yeah, I usually just fast forward through all that. I mean, I already know the history of Godzilla, but, the movie's a direct sequel to the first Mechagodzilla movie. You got the submarine looking for the remains of Mechagodzilla. I don't know why they were looking for it. Probably to do some, research, kind of similar to what they did in the 93 Mechagodzilla, finding the Mecha King Ghidorah head. I have no idea, but they stumble across Titanosaurus, and Titanosaurus destroys the sub, and that's where our story pretty much takes place.
Yeah.
And of course, you got the aliens returning. I don't know how they came back, especially what's his name, Muga? Is that the
the lead
name?
Mughal? Yeah. Played by the same actor.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how he came back. I guess I'm not sure, but. Apparently, they've been on Earth for how many, 20 years, and they've been supporting Dr. Mifune and his daughter because, his daughter died during the experiments with Titanosaurus, and they just randomly came and saved her. And I don't know. At the same time, I guess you had the other monsters roaming around, and Dr. Mifune's making all these accusations that he found a dinosaur. But, like I said, you had Godzilla roaming around, you had Anguirus, Rodan, Mothra, you had all of them. Who cares about a dinosaur when you have all these, radioactive giants running around that can just stomp like a T-Rex,
Yeah, it seems like, why are they taking him so, that he's off his rocker when they live in a world with all these creatures running around? It sounds like that's second nature. I mean, wow, a dinosaur.
Yeah, and I don't get it. I mean, I tend to let it slide because it's part of the Showa goofiness and kind of I don't know, it's comical, but
yeah.
But the movie's not really to be taken lighthearted because it's supposed to be a darker movie. You got little love romance between Ichinose and Katsura. Haven't really seen that too much since Monster Zero maybe.
As far as romance, yeah, there's really not much. There was, kind of brief little instances, I guess you could say, of romance in Hedera.
Monster, you got Gigan. Yeah, there really wasn't anything else, I don't think. As far as a a tight connection between the lead male and the lead lady.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, both was it Namakawa and Glenn. They
Nick Adams, yeah.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Gotta go back to him.
I think Ishiro Honda wanted to deliver a message, kind of like how Monster Zero ended and how the original Gojira ended, because each person kind of sacrificed themselves for the better being. Okay, Dr. Serizawa sacrificed himself for the world to defeat Godzilla and taking a secret to the grave, and then you had Namakawa dying and passing along the note to Glenn how to destroy them, and then you had Katsura in this one telling her, or telling Ichinose to kill me because Mechagodzilla's brain is in my stomach, and he wouldn't do it, so she self-terminated, and Mechagodzilla went kind of limp after she died, and Godzilla took advantage. And the one thing that I want to point out, this is probably one of my biggest things about the movie. The movie's called Terror Mechagodzilla. The Japanese title is Mechagodzilla's Counterattack.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is this: it doesn't seem like a Mechagodzilla movie. It feels like a Titanosaurus movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
it feels more like a story about Titanosaurus, and the majority of the movie you see Godzilla fighting Titanosaurus. Mechagodzilla is just in the back, not really doing too. I mean, he's still doing a lot, but he's not really doing as much as the first movie. Kind of like King Ghidorah and Godzilla versus Gigan. He was just like sitting in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these films, they do that. The title of the film sometimes are to draw an audience in. Godzilla has better marquee value in Megalon, but yet he's hardly in it. It's more of a Jet Jaguar film.
Right, exactly. I mean, Mechagodzilla, he's still impressive. I mean, he has the revolving missiles that shoot into the ground and explode the city. That was awesome.
Yeah.
What else happened in the movie?
Of course, Mechagodzilla has his, when his head gets torn off, he's no longer fooled by, or is no longer, he learned from Godzilla, I guess, or the aliens learned to put a little extra something in there, because Godzilla's going to try his old trick again.
Yeah, that's what Godzilla was thinking. Yeah, I'm going to rip off his head again. I want to say I have a couple favorite parts of the movie. Obviously, Godzilla's entrance is probably one of the best in the series.
Yeah.
You got the atomic breath just coming out of nowhere, and then the lightning silhouette of Godzilla, and then panning in, and then the lighting comes on his face, that grumpy-looking face of his, and attacking Titanosaurus. That's probably one of the best parts of the film. Another one of my favorite parts is where you got the helicopter doing its thing with Titanosaurus because the electric shocks that he doesn't like. You got Mechagodzilla in the background ready to blow it up. After Godzilla being buried, and then Godzilla just blows out of the hole and blasts Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla's just like, yeah, and then wipes himself off like nothing's happened.
And of course, not on top of that, the monster action, we get Godzilla's suit lighting on fire.
Oh yeah, I actually pointed out a couple of days. I'm like, yeah, I forgot the suit was set on fire. You got a lot of movies where the suit actually catches on fire. I'm not sure if it's a complete accident or if it's on purpose, but they leave it in the shot. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it was accidental. Yeah, and I think in Godzilla versus Mothra, back in the '60s, that happened before. Certain accidents would happen on set, and they just said, you know what, leave it in there. It looked cool.
Yeah, that happened in some of the later films too.
I think
also, I don't. Some people don't really know. They don't really catch it, but Titanosaurus is being controlled by the aliens and, Dr. Mifune, but they're describing Titanosaurus as a gentle dinosaur. So I wonder what would have happened if Titanosaurus was actually on Godzilla's side to fight Titanosaurus. I know they didn't want another 2-on-1. Well, obviously it is a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
But the last film was a 2-on-1 between Godzilla and King Caesar versus Mechagodzilla. But this time the odds are on Godzilla.
Yeah.
Where Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla are teamed up against him.
Yeah, he's on his own this time, and he's got to have the intervention of the humans. In this one, at least in Mechagodzilla, he just had to have, the help of another monster, which, of course, the humans had, part of waking him up, King Caesar. But as far as Titanosaurus, they've got to use their sonic rays on him.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the humans always have something to do with the other monster's demise. Because, I don't know, you have, let's see, trying to think here, trying to use an example. Monster Zero is an example.
Yeah.
What else? Destroy All Monsters. Hedorah, Gigan.
Pretty much, yeah. The human story. Let's switch over to the human story. What do you think about the cast, actually, some of the actors to play those humans?
Tomoko Ai, she's a beautiful actress. Met her at G-Fest.
That's right.
Still beautiful. And what's his name that plays Ichinose? He was in Megalon.
Katsuhiko Sasaki.
Sasaki, yeah. He's, I like him too. I met him at G-Fest as well. Really, really nice guy. As far as I'm concerned, I think he had like 4 appearances in the series, but staying on track with Terror Mechagodzilla, I think I liked his performance in Terror Mechagodzilla the most out of them all. Even though, Megalon, he invented Jet Jaguar. Yeah. And a lot of people like Jet Jaguar, but, for me, Terror Mechagodzilla will be my favorite performance of his.
Yeah.
You had Dr. Mifune, who was played by, how do you pronounce his name? Hirata? I can't pronounce his name.
Akihiko Hirata.
Yeah, okay, I got the last name right. Yeah. Plays a mad scientist. I think he plays it off well, especially in the English version. I haven't watched the Japanese version in a while, but I like that maniacal laugh he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else is there?
There's a brief cameo with Kenji Sahara. He's just a...
Oh, yeah, he was, what do you say, commander?
Yeah, commander.
I don't know what his title role was, but yeah, a brief cameo. Wasn't really anything, compared to previous movies.
Yeah, I'm looking at the IMDb here. A lot of the recognizable names from the 60s Toho family, the Honda family, unfortunately, have moved on to other things, and so we don't have like your Takaratas. We don't even have, of course, Nakajima. He's retired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After Nakajima retired in Gigan, there were 3 other Godzilla suit actors. I don't have the name of the suit actor that played Godzilla in this, but I still think he did good. He played Godzilla well. I mean, we didn't get a steady suit actor until Godzilla 84 with Ken Satsuma, who also played Hedorah and Gigan.
Yep.
Don't really have the names of the suit actors that played Mechagodzilla or Titanosaurus. I don't even know if it was the same suit actor that played Mechagodzilla in the last movie.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. And something about, Hirata, playing Mifune in this. What's, unfortunate or unfortunate, that's kind of the end of his career that is the end of his career in the Godzilla series, of course, because he passed away. He was slated to be in 84.
Yep, I remember reading that, yep. And, of course, with any other movies, Hirata was in the last movie, in Mechagodzilla, playing a different character. You got a lot of those people, like Akira Takarada plays different roles. I can go down the entire list of people that play different roles in each movie, and they're like, wait, wasn't he in the last movie?
Yeah.
Playing a different role this time. So I really don't know why they do that.
Yeah, I know. It's part of that studio system, and I mean, there's 2 ways I look at it is that, they've got some really great actors that are confident in their roles, but at the same time, you have an audience who's saying, wait a second, didn't they? Wait a second, aren't they evil? Aren't they good?
Yeah. Now, another thing, talking about cast, what's his name? Murakoshi, Ichinose's partner?
Yeah.
I think that's his name. I like how in the American cut, they chop it up. I'm talking about the VHS that you have. I think it's on that VHS where they chop it up pretty but it's not in the new version on DVD, where it seems like he's the one that shoots Katsura because the horrible cutting floor that they did during that time.
Yeah, yeah, they edited the heck out of it, and without even any regard to the storyline, and so that yeah, things kind of fell apart in that with like you said earlier, the gun shooting, everything about that was wrong.
Right, and it didn't even show Katsura, committing suicide either, because after Dr. Mufune dies, and it just shows Ichinose holding her and forgiving her, but then you don't see anything. You just see Mechagodzilla just go limp, and Godzilla attacks, and that's it. And then towards the end of the film, you don't see Ichinose holding the body of Katsura and placing her on the ground. You just see after Godzilla blows Titanosaurus away, you just see the fake Godzilla suit from the previous movie just wade away into the ocean. You don't see that emotional moment with Ichinose and Katsura.
Yeah. So you'd say in a lot of ways this film kind of a mixed bag of good and bad, indifferent things for you.
Yeah, I mean the American cut, the American cut where it was all choppy didn't really make a lot of sense, but with the new version on DVD, I think it's a lot better.
Yeah.
Now, I just don't like the prologue is all.
Yeah, get rid of that prologue and you'll be all right. Because it's stock footage of stock footage, actually. We're actually down to our last couple of minutes here, Mike. If you would, if you were to say to somebody, it's the one where he fill in the blank, it's the one where what happens?
It's the one where... Oh, geez, this is a hard one. It's the one where, with that fish-looking dinosaur.
That's the way you're going to say it then. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are actually down to the last ending of this episode here, so we're going to have to close things up. But I appreciate it, Mike, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at G-Fest again this year and seeing some panels, picking up some collectibles, and all kinds of cool stuff going on. So thank you very much.
All right, Nick. Have a good day.
All right, we'll catch up with you next time, and thank you all for joining us for another episode of the Monster Report. We'll catch you next time.